Hello there folks, it is TRJ Gaming and welcome back to Conquering the Euro on Football Manager 2021. Today it is time for episode 5 of Season 8 and I think this could be one of the biggest episodes of the series yet because today we play against Chelsea at the Bramley-Moore Stadium and it gives us a chance to really close in on our two title rivals and we're definitely in this title race. We've been in a good run of form. We're a little bit off our opponents, but certainly not too far. And obviously, if we go and beat Chelsea today, then if we win our game in hand, then we will only be 1 point behind Chelsea. And my thinking is, to go and win this title, I've allowed myself 3 slip-ups. So that's 3 defeats. We've got 16 games to go, as you can see from the league table here. We're on 46 points in 22 games. So the thinking is, if we can win 13 out of those 16 matches, that puts us on 85 points. And that is a pretty good total to go and win the title at. And I think if anybody wins the title above that, you have to say, okay, fair enough, you're a very good side. Looking at Chelsea and Man United, I mean, they're on 54, 53 after 23 matches. But I think the worst thing we can do is look at those two teams around us. So if we go for 3 slip-ups before the end of the year, I think the matches we're probably looking at those in is probably this match, maybe the Man United match, and possibly one of these Man City and Liverpool matches. But everything else, we should be getting a win out of. And I think we need that, really, if we're going to go win the title this year. But while we're in this screen, let's have a look at what we've done between episodes. There's been 5 games in between episodes. And good news, we've kept that undefeated run. Haven't been beaten since the last time we played against Chelsea. So that's going to be interesting. We've never fared very well against Chelsea, to be brutally honest. But we did beat them at home, I know, last year. I remember late on. You can see there, yeah, we beat them by 2-1. But beating Chelsea isn't something we do very often. When we have done it in the last how many years, we've done it at home. The last time Everton beat Chelsea away from home was in 2021, so that's just over 8 years ago now. So that's pretty scary. But we're at home today, so that's a good home. But we've had 5 matches since the last episode. The first one was against West Bromwich Albion. The game was pretty much done by the time we had the sending off of Luke Thomas in the 37th minute. We were 2-0 up and really we just went for the goal difference then. We had a brilliant 5-0 victory. We then came home to the BMD Stadium, very nearly a clean sheet, solid 3-0 win. Musialowski made it 3-1 in the 93rd minute. I know he's a player that Michael had Exo's gaming in his series with Darlington and couldn't get a work permit for him, but Ian Arthur Whopper now, former Liverpool youngster, and he's been around a bit. He's been a right journeyman. He's been in Italy, France, USA, Belgium. Obviously started in Poland and has come back now to the UK and he's doing a pretty good job. Then we've just had a narrow victory against Tottenham. It was a tight game this and we beat them 1-0. And then we dropped points, unfortunately, for the first time in the league since that match against Liverpool. A 0-0 draw against Norwich. Now that doesn't seem as bad as it might do in this day and age because Norwich are actually a very good side. They're in 5th in the Premier League. And it was just a bit of a stalemate. We were a little bit better than them, but we've not had a very good record against Norwich in the past. I think they set up to get a point. They're doing pretty well for where they are. They have actually dropped down to 8th, but obviously there's only a point between them and Man City in 5th. But, they are a good side, and I'd have liked to have got 3 points, but ultimately, you can't win them all. Bit of transfer activity that's gone on as well. We have bought in a few players. We've bought in Paulo Ricardo from Flamengo. He's come in as a young right back. Looks a very good right back. Couldn't be 4 or 5 star player. Really, as much as anything, he's a profit player because we have got Pablo Corona who can also play in that right back position. 825,000 seemed like a no-brainer to me when he came up onto the scout report. So another no-brainer was a backup option at centre-back, Axel Tuanzebe. He's 32 years of age in game now. Played for Man United for years, and for some reason, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decided to put him on the transfer list for nothing. Nil point. Free transfer. And I thought, well, seems crazy not to. He's a very good player. He's going to come in as really as third choice in behind Ben Godfrey and Diego Almeida. But, he's probably our second best centre-back. So for a title run-in, someone with a lot of experience like Axel would be a really good sign. And again, it's not really costs anything. He's on, 85,000 a week. It's not going to make a huge dent in the wage budget. We've also bought in Paleo Fellaina. Another youngster from Real Oviedo. Bit expensive probably for how good he's going to be. £1.4 million. Looks like he's going to be a fairly decent player. We'll make our money back on, I think, at least. Been a few outs as well. Hayden Hamill has gone to Birmingham. One of our youngsters. just never really cut it, and only 325,000 paid, but we couldn't really get much more than that. We obviously knew Lucas Lavalite was going to go to St Etienne. This was the player we bought him at the start of the season to replace Pickford long term for 15 million. Within 2 weeks, he wasn't getting picked, got all sad and wanted to move. St Etienne put a bid in of 20 million. It is one of the most strange FM stories I've ever seen, but I'm not going to complain. We also sold Emma Shaughnessy to Oxford United for $250,000. Again, another youngster that didn't really cut it. Had a year out on loan in the last National League, and as you could say, didn't really set the world on fire, and just wasn't getting to the side. So when Oxford came in with the bid, then fair enough. And Sam Atkinson has gone out on loan to Trabzonspor in Turkey to get a bit of game time. He's only played 5 times this year. To be honest, with some of the young players that have come in, he's just, he's not going to be in the team. We put some feelers out there to sell him, but unfortunately we didn't really have much interest. So I'm thinking send him out on loan for 6 months. Hopefully he scores some goals out there, and I think we'll probably look to sell him in the summer because I can't see him getting into the first team, unfortunately. But the team for this match then against Chelsea is very similar to what we've played all season. We've got Pickford in goal with the usual back 4, Messina and Bates in the midfield, Solken, Sierra and Benito Owen in the attacking midfield, and Robin van den Berg up front. You will notice that both Van den Berg and Benito Owen have got 15 goals each. If you look at the goal scoring charts in the Premier League, they've both got 13 in the Premier League, which isn't far off Kanini, who's the top goal scorer. If you look at average minutes per goal, again, Owen and Van den Berg very well up there. So hopefully they can continue that going on. Big match against Chelsea today. Again, it is one of those matches that we can slip up. I think that whole 3 matches where we can slip up idea is a little bit worse with the fact that if we lose points against Chelsea or Man United, obviously they need to double whammy. But we can only do what we can do. We've been unbeaten in how many now? Of course, the last time we lost a football match in this save was back at the end of October. But Frank's team are in fairly good form as well. So it's going to be tricky to go and beat them today. As I said, we've got the good omen of we beat them here last season. We're in good form. We've got the fans behind us. And hopefully we can just about win this football match. So let's see how we go. We've gone with our more defensive formation today, which basically means same positions, but just a few more supporting roles rather than attacking roles. The idea of that more attacking formation is against sides, lesser sides in the league that we really want to take advantage of. But we've got an early chance here. Solken into the box. Almeida can't quite get to it. So this could be a counter-attack for Chelsea. Of course, we're playing in pink today. That's their second choice because obviously Chelsea at home would play in blue. Larios. Good that it wasn't a counter-attack for Chelsea, although I could be surprised it might happen. Good ball over from Owen to Solken. Owen back to Bates. Oh, of course, Lewis Bates playing against his former team in Chelsea. And a brilliant shot from Bates, but equally an excellent save from the Chelsea goalkeeper. And I'm fairly sure that wasn't Kepa. Mason Mount's still there, though, which is nice to see a young kid still at the club. Free kick, though, from Robin van den Berg on the edge of the 20-minute mark, and that's in! Robin van den Berg makes it 14 goals in the Premier League. A beautiful free kick. The Chelsea keeper, Anana, could not get to that, and we take an early lead at the BMD Stadium. Excellent. If we can go and beat Chelsea, the only opposition after that is Man United. I think that you can see from the table that there's a clear top 3 now in ourselves, Chelsea and Man United. And last year, was it last year or the year before? Leeds got into the top 4 with us, and they've dropped off a bit this year. So what I'm saying is it's not too surprising, really. This has been sort of the order of the league for a few years now. Obviously, Chelsea winning the Premier League ahead of Man United for the first time in a few years. So we're looking to join that group. It's going to be tough to get in, but if we can get a good result here, then there's no reason why we can't be there. Good ball from Hamilton through to Robin van den Berg. It's 2-0. 2 goals in 2 minutes here at the BMD Stadium. And brilliant stuff from Robin van den Berg. As it says here, Chelsea have a mountain to climb now. I mean, I think you would probably say at this point, without wanting to sound too risky, that I don't think Chelsea are going to win this match from here. Again, I could be wrong. They could bring it back to 2 each, but I could be wrong. Robin van den Berg's through again, though, and that's a poor chip. Again, I can't criticise him too much. Some brilliant link-up play there from Hamilton Sierra, and Van den Berg very nearly getting a 10-minute hat-trick. But again, I can't criticise the man too much. He has been brilliant in front of goal so far today, and what a free kick it was. And Robin van den Berg doesn't need any more asking. It's 3-0. It is 3-0. That's his hat-trick in 15 minutes. And Robin van den Berg goes to the top of the Premier League scoring charts. he's had some interest from Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid put an offer in of 65 million. Now, we bought him for 91, so that was a swift bye-bye, you can forget that. And is this going to get worse for Chelsea? It is. They've gone down to 10 men, folks. Surely we are going to win this football match. It can't be 4, can it? Robin van den Berg with a free kick. It's 4-0. It is 4-0. And I'll tell you what the sad thing is about that. That should have really been counted as a Robin van den Berg goal. I just can't believe this. This is bonkers. It isn't going to help Chelsea's goal difference. It's going to put our confidence up hugely. Frank's probably going to blame it on the fact that Bastoni got sent off. But to be brutally honest, I don't really see how that's right. I'm very happy with the way things are going. Now, I think most managers would really try and go for it here and go with a more attacking formation. But the formation we've played has put us 4-0 up, so why on earth would we change from that? But this is a brilliant result. It really is. Without sounding complacent or anything, especially with 10 men, you wouldn't think they'd come back from 4-0 down to 4 each. But I've seen crazier things happen in FM. But this is just absolutely bonkers. Man United are winning their match at the moment, so they're beating Wolves 2-0. The only real chance I think we've got of taking points off these two teams is by beating them directly, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to bring Hamilton off now. He seems completely knackered, so we're going to put Solken in that attacking position in the centre. We're going to bring him off, and we're also going to bring off Lewis Bakes. He's only just come back from an injury, so we want to protect him, but he's played very well today. There's not a player in the squad who hasn't played well, to be honest. We just got to hope that Man United make some slip-ups now. And Chelsea, of course. You know, Chelsea have lost today, sure, but they are still in the title race. Would be brilliant for us if we can keep a clean sheet here. Just one for the stats more than anything. And our goal difference, as you can see, is looking pretty good now. But this is a real statement. A hat-trick from Robin van den Berg. 4-0 against Chelsea. It's very much one of those statements, you know, come at us, everyone. You know, come to the BMD and see what you can do. It's that kind of statement. And I'm very glad about that, because after we played Norwich and Tottenham, only one against Tottenham, a draw against Norwich, I thought, oh, is the run starting to come to an end? I'm not so sure, but we went and beat Chelsea 4-0 fair and square. And the red card, it can always be an excuse, but it shouldn't be an excuse. We were dominant before that. We were 3-0 up before the red card. What a performance that is. Man United go 4 points clear of Chelsea. Obviously, if we win our game in hand, we're only 5 points behind them. Our former employers could have helped us out a bit, though. Fabio Silva got one back for Wolves against United, but we are the chasing pack. But after this, we've done pretty well there. We really have. If we look at Man United's schedule, what's that going to bring up in terms of tricky matches? So, I mean, the next two matches are pretty tough for them, aren't they? Chelsea and then us. So that's really going to be a crucial one. Obviously, we'll come back for that match against Manchester United, which isn't long away. We'll play the match against United and Ajax, of course, in the next episode. But before that, we're going to host Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup 4th round. And surely, in the run we've been in, I mean, what's that? 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 17 unbeaten. Surely we can't have a banana skin to Forest. Here we are then, back at the BMD Stadium for our 4th round match against Nottingham Forest. Now, you could say that one thing I am guilty of a lot, and I do a lot with the club competitions, is I don't play my strongest squad. That's why we tend to be out. And you can say that's fairly similar here, but I think this side should be able to beat Nottingham Forest. So we've got our cup goalkeeper in the sticks. We've got McCowan in goal. Eddie Williams plays at right back, a youngster for us. Our centre-back partnership, Meyer and Tuanzebe, that's a second-choice partnership. Happy with that. Larry Ostel at left back. Dominic Meyer, one of our youngsters, plays along Lewis Bates in the midfield. We've brought back Ryan Hill from his loan at Getafe. Now, of course, Sam Atkinson's gone out on loan, so we need a backup right winger. And he's done pretty decently out in La Liga. Had some good match experience, so hopefully he'll come back a bit of a better player. 3 stars, 4-star potential. He's probably gone above Reece Nelson in the offing at right wing now, and just really shows how he's developed as a player. So I'd be interested to see that today. Lorenzo plays in central attacking midfield. We've put Benito Owen on the left wing. And I'm going to actually make a light change. I'm going to put Reece Nelson up front rather than Josh Hope, because some part of me doesn't fancy Josh Hope as a goal scorer, which is one of the problems with him, actually. If you're going to be a striker, you do need to score goals, which it does worry me. I've definitely noticed in the past when we played Josh Hope in lesser squads that he does struggle a little bit. But obviously we have got the big names on the bench, the Deji Satonas of this world, Kenneth Taylor as well. I mean, not too many of the big names. I realised actually, if you noticed after I said that, I'm thinking we haven't really got too many of the big names on the bench, but hopefully we should be okay. Reece Nelson skies that one. I mean, you could argue that we don't really need the FA Cup this year. Good goal from Juan Larios. He was one of the last players I ever expected to go and score there. We don't really need the FA Cup given we're focusing on the Champions League and the Premier League itself, of course. But as you've seen here, if we can play a second string side, it's not really going to harm us too much. I think this foul was probably outside the box. I think it's probably a free kick there. Let's have a look. Martin Ross gives a free kick. Yeah, not much of a surprise. We've gone 1-0 up, so yeah, you'd think that we'd win. The one thing that I really don't want, more than anything, is a replay. I really don't want another match because things are getting quite congested now. You know, you've got the Premier League, of course. We've got the FA Cup here, and we've got the Champions League. Champions League got a great chance. I was speaking about it in the last episode. We've got Ajax in the last 16. And there are some matches that might go our way, and if we have a good quarter-final draw, then we could have... You can't say an easy run in the Champions League, of course you can't, but we can have an easier run than we certainly would have had in the past. You know, we've had Juventus in the first knockout round last year, we had PSG in the first year. It's fair to say that without being too complacent, you would think, especially the way we've been playing as well, that we're going to be favourites against Ajax. We've beaten them twice in the group stage last season, so there's definitely some evidence there that we should be favourites for that side. Ryan Hill running down the wing, puts it into the box. Nice assist on his first game back. Sets up Benito Owen for his 16th goal of the domestic season. We're 2-0 up here against Forest. I don't see much of an issue with us being in the 5th round. Good value for our lead. I think it might be fairly wise going forward to bring some of our more experienced players off. So I'm going to bring Lorenzo off for O'Sheen Folks, another youngster, 18 years of age, 2-star, 5-star potential ability. So I do want him to go out on loan. There's nobody been interested in him yet. We've got a few feeder clubs, but without sounding incredibly racist and stereotypical, I'd prefer him to go out on loan in the lower leagues of this country. You know, without sounding so stereotypical, and it's not the way that I intended to come across, but it probably is better for these players, some of them anyway, to get lower division experience. But then, you know, sometimes it can harm. It's a double-edged sword there. Should have this wrapped up against Forest now, you would think. Again, we'll bring Bate off for Taylor, and we will probably also get Owen out of the squad. Bring Deji Satona on. I mean, as I said, again in previous episodes, I feel a bit sorry for Deji Satona because for a while he was our permanent left winger, but he just has no space in the squad now ahead of Benito Owen. But ultimately, you've got to have squad players, you know, second choice players, and Deji Satona's a very good substitute from that. And I must admit, I thought this episode would have been a bit more challenging than that. 3-0 victory against Forest, absolutely solid. Juan Larios scores. I mean, I guess that's your surprise for the day. Any surprises? I can't see anything obvious glaring out here. Oh, by the way, Liverpool sacked Gerrard after 6 months, which is crazy. Arsenal got beat by Reading. That's probably the biggest surprise of the round. Yeah, Liverpool sacked Gerrard after 6 months, which I thought was incredibly unrealistic. You wouldn't appoint a club legend. Bear in mind, I think Liverpool was 7th when they sacked him. And, you know, it's a bit like when Moyes went to United. It's one of those that, why make that sort of decision if you're going to sack him 6 months later? Because now, I don't know who they're going for. Who's favourite for that job? Andre Bright, again, you know, another... I'll tell you what, we're really getting the old racist card out today, aren't we? Just another foreigner at a Premier League club. I don't get it. Especially after Gerrard. You know, I'm not saying that in offence to anyone there, but yeah, you know, he's a fairly decorated manager, this Breton Rita, but you know, he's not got any huge club experience. He was at Germany for 2 years. Probably Porto's the biggest job he's had. Some strange decisions going on there at Anfield. When is the 5th round draw? It's on Monday, so I'll bring you guys the 5th round draw. We'll see how we get in the 5th round. But before that, we will be coming back, as I said, for the United and Ajax match. But before we go, let's see who we've got in the 5th round of the Cup. So it's cup draw time. It's the 5th round, round of 16. There's still some smallish clubs left, actually. We've got Barnsley, Brentford or Bristol, Blackburn, Fulham, Walsall, West Ham, both of those in the Championship, West Brom as well. Let's see who we draw. So Watford have got Reading. Brentford or Bristol City are at home to Liverpool. Norwich are at home to Man City. We're at home, so I'm happy with that. We are playing against West Brom. I think I'll take that, actually. Man United have got Fulham. Barnsley against Tottenham. Blackburn against Chelsea. Walsall, West Ham against Newcastle. So we've got West Brom in the FA Cup draw. We'll be playing that match on the 6th of March. So, okay, that's not too badly placed there. I think, actually, that's settled then for episode 7. We'll play the match against West Brom and then the Ajax match. But so we've got 5 home games in a row. That's quite an interesting run, but the back end of that, the problem is that we've got 4 games away from home now. So between the next episode, we've got matches against Leicester and Newcastle, and we've got the huge fixture against Manchester United. Obviously, Man United play against Chelsea on Saturday the 2nd, so that will mean that one of them drops points. What's the best result there? I guess a draw, really, isn't it? Yeah, but if we can win the 2 games we've got, then hopefully we give ourselves a good chance of potentially going to win the Premier League. So plenty of exciting episodes to come. I'll be back in a few days' time for that match against Ajax and firstly Man United. If you've enjoyed that, folks, leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well, and remember to subscribe to the channel for regular Football Manager 2021 content. That's been it from me today. I definitely won't continue any further because I'll get my tongue twisted again. But thank you all for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.